Tom's Guitar Show. Sorry, I'm not used to this guitar. It's here. What an embarrassing mistake. Just do that all night. I wouldn't have to do any more show. I could just do the, what do they call it, the fade out or the, what is it? What's that called when it's the intro, the outro. The outro. I knew that. Oh, well, anyway, welcome to Tom's Guitar Show, everybody. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar. They used to call me on the phone on my show, but nobody calls anymore, so we went to Twitter. They probably put that up on the screen sometime here. So, but anyway, I'm at Uptown Bill's, as I am on the last Tuesday of each month. Uptown Bill's Coffee House, corner of South Dubuque and Lafayette. What's the address down here? 730 South Dubuque. Yeah. So, anyway, here we go again. This is my show about guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. And you can tweet me a question or something. If you want to ask me a question about, like, the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you, how to play the guitar, or some sort of related topic, like the guitarrón, the sitar, the guitarra, luz, uds, vihuelas, banjos, balaicas, bajos, sextos, bajos, cincos, cavaquinhos, tiples, ukuleles, banjos, balaicas, bazookies. I said that already, didn't I? Well, anything with strings. Pipe organs, piccolos, trombones, tromboninas, harmoniums, harmonicas, harpsichords. Is everything all right? Oh, good. I'm a little worried we're trying to get the sound right. Are we, I say just blare it out, man. Yeah, anyway. So, tweet me if you want. That's fine. I'm here for you. Politics, world events, your own personality problems. That's here. Just try to keep it clean around here. It's a family program. All right, so my boring story is I've been waiting all summer long for two Reverend guitars. The Manta Ray, the turquoise semi-hollow body Reverend Manta Ray, and then the flat iron, the flat rock, excuse me, which is this one. Now I have two guitars that look just like the same design and everything. And the first one I've had on the show a few times. It's it's like this shape, but it has two humbuckers, not unlike the 57 whatever Gibson pickups everybody raised up, the big fat humbuckers. And it has a rosewood fingerboard on top of this maple neck. Okay, so I decided I wanted this one because I wanted maple, because maple is different. But some weeks ago, the guitar shop I hang around got in. By the way, this is supposed to come in June, like early June, and didn't. So came in last week. But some weeks ago, they got in another reverend, a charger like the one that I was describing before, the rosewood, the two humbuckers. Same one with a little sunburst to it, paint job, but it had rosewood fingerboard. And I know I'm sorry, you had the maple fingerboard, not the rosewood. I'm sorry, I'm just babbling. It's been a long day, man. I'm teaching up at Co on Tuesdays, and I come down here in rush hour traffic from Cedar Rapids. Anyway, get used to it. It's going to be a long semester. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, okay, so I picked up the guitar, and I thought, oh, this is ridiculous, but I got it. I loved it, took it home. I thought, well, I won't need this one, because this is the same thing. It's got the maple, right? But these are Revtron pickups. They're supposed to be like something out of the 1950s, like a Gretsch in the early 1960s. And so I was thinking, well, I don't have to buy that one. I already got one, but I took it anyway. And I got my manta ray, but I put heavier gauge strings in the manta ray, and it doesn't sound right. It needs some setup. It's in the shop. But I'll probably have that in the show next chance I get. Is that a long way around? Yeah, that's a little too much, isn't it? Maybe we should play something. Anyway, so I have Michael back on the show. He's running for the Senate. I figure, what the heck, we were watching your progress with great interest around here on the show. If you wanted to step up, you could. What do you think? Step up on that microphone? Oh, okay. There's a big chance. Yeah, well, that's why we could have our microphones. We can each have one.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm not sure that this mic's on, though.
Well, we're going to make sure it's on. Young Tom is doing the sound for us.
Actually, the irony is, I'm not even here to talk about politics or even about my campaign as such, but about a related topic, how difficult it is for independent candidates to run for any office. So that's really what I'm here to speak about today. It was with great excitement I came, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, and it was really exciting to be downstairs to your program. Since then, I've had lots of people ask, well, how's it actually been since then? And frankly, it's been difficult, and I'll tell you why. So I spoke on the Pedmal at Iowa City. The city administration of Iowa City was very helpful, very accommodating. I set up my 3-step ladder, my microphone, and my voice projector, and I held court on a Sunday afternoon. It was very good. I had illusions, though, that I'd go to the state fair and do the same thing. You can't do it. I did go to the state fair. However, the fair itself does not allow speakers outside of the soapbox venue sponsored by the Des Moines Register. You can't go around the fair talking about politics. You can't distribute pamphlets. But they said you can go outside the main gate. The joke is there's actually 15 or so gates. At any rate, I did look at the property opposite Gate 11, which they told me was the busiest gate, and I saw that there were a couple square inches that you could stand with a microphone. You could speak about politics on public property. But the city of Des Moines requires, in turn, that you actually go through them and you get a permit if you're going to do projected voice. If you're not going to do projected voice, you can speak forever. But as you can hear already tonight, I can speak about 10 minutes without a microphone, and then I go hoarse. So I called the Des Moines City Hall, and they were very helpful to a point. And they said, well, if you want to have a voice projection device, you have to have a written permit. And for you to do that, we have to close the street. I said, what do you mean you have to close the street? Yes. If you even just have a little handheld loudspeaker, we have to close the street, and we have to have a police officer there. It cost, well, maybe $1,500 or something like this per day. I said, well, I can't afford that.
And closing the street at the state fair would probably make you very popular with people who are trying to get around, right?
Or unpopular, as the case might have been.
Well, I was being sarcastic. Well, go ahead. Yeah,
yes, so I didn't do that. Instead of speaking at the fair every day for 10 days, I took a week off and did other things. I will say that I did speak for 20 minutes at the state fair, sponsored by the Des Moines Register's Soapbox Forum. It was terrifying to speak out feeling naked on a little platform as thousands of people roamed by with their deep-fat fried Hostess Twinkies and ding-dongs and pork chops on a stick.
Things on a stick, yeah.
Everything. It was sort of gross, to be honest. But there I stood.
Yeah, disgusting. Wait,
thousands of people milling about, and no one really stopping to listen to anything. Still, I spoke as best I could. I'm not used to that sort of venue. I speak a lot, but not like that. The Register, however, one should tell a little story here. The Register has a policy that they will not mention any independent candidates, that means non-Democrats, non-Republicans, until August. So the mainstream candidates have gotten lots of publicity, lots of interviews, photos, announcements since, I don't know, the glaciers retreated about 10,000 years ago, but any independent candidates have to wait. A similar creature exists with Iowa Public Television. You may not join the debates with Chuck and Patty in the fall unless you fill at least 4 of 5 criteria. Well, the first criteria on their list is you have to be vetted or sponsored by one of the political parties recognized by the Secretary of State of Iowa. Well, the catch-22 is, and I called Dawn Williams and I talked to her at some length. She's very friendly and knowledgeable. The state of Iowa only recognizes 2 parties, the Democratic and the Republican. And I said, well, what about the Libertarians and the Greens? No, she said, those aren't recognized as political parties. Those are actually nonpartisan political organizations, which don't fall under the rubrics of Iowa Public Television's criteria. So the Libertarian candidate from Clarion, I haven't met him yet, but he also would not meet that criteria. And this means that if you fail one of the 5 criteria, you must fulfill the other 4. Well, one of them is no problem for you, Tom, because you're going to help sponsor this. You have to have raised at least $50,000. So your viewers and listeners need to start throwing their shekels and francs and Deutschmark and whatever's left in the world my way to raise that $50,000 in the next couple of weeks. So in other words, Iowa Public TV for any non-Democratic, non-Republican is good as not possible. Our friends at Iowa Public Radio, for disclaimer purposes, your brother-in-law works there. They also had to be chased. I kept after them for 10 days and said, oh, my volunteers and friends and I didn't hear that you mentioned my announcement. Shouldn't you announce that I made an announcement as a senatorial candidate? Yes, I was told we should, and then they did, but it's very short and very perfunctory. The Associated Press, on the other hand, doggedly said, no, we don't always mention all candidates for U.S. Senate from Iowa. I said, well, all? There are only 3, maybe 4 of us. And I wrote back and said, maybe for the sake of journalistic fairness, maybe you should mention all always or none ever. But when the Associated Press starts taking up the job of handpicking which candidates it's going to feature, that goes above the line of journalistic neutrality. I should also say that one of the big hurdles for any independent candidate is, of course, donations. Bernie became famous for his, $27 average donations. With me, I guess it's maybe 27 cents. But it's hard to track big money if you're not working for Monsanto or for Farm Bureau or for the National Rifle Association. The most recent experience I've had, the hurdles of running as an independent candidate, have been the irate calls. I get calls, above all, from rabid Democratic political faithful saying, how can you run? How dare you? You're only spoiling the election, taking votes from Patty Judge, which means you're actually handing votes to Chuck Grassley. So it's been very few Republicans who call me and berate me, but a lot of hardcore Democratic Party faithful they'll call, or even confront me in the street and take me aside and tell me that I should actually drop out before November 8th. And finally, the last thing that I would mention is that even friends, family, former lovers, neighbors, colleagues, other people in the academic world, they say, I really like what you're doing. It's so important that people run as independents. We must have a bigger system. We need more than 2 parties. But this year, I don't dare waste my vote. I'll vote for, and then fill in the blank. And I see this as part of a cycle. People say, gosh, we really have to change the system. We've got to do something differently. But those of us who dare to do something differently, we get hit in the head and are told, thanks, but not this year. One Quaker woman in Decorah even berated me and said, yes, you're right. We've got to do that. But after this election cycle. And then, of course, I say, well, when will that ever end?
Well, they'll have another one, and then they'll be critical then, too. So
That's right.
So-
So thanks for letting me give my report,
Sure.
but that's the latest from the campaign trail.
Okay, well, good luck to you out there. It's jungle. It's a cornfield out there in Iowa, but I have a feeling there are a lot of people who are very emotional about what's going to happen the next 3 months around here. Here in Tom's Guitar Hour Show, we don't really endorse any candidates. We might make fun of some people in politics. Not Michael here, but there's another show, a kind of a crazy show that they used to have on public access, and I joined with I can't remember if I had a banjo or a ukulele. I might have had a banjo. I joined these kind of 2 crazy guys who did crazy stuff, just talked back and forth and took phone calls on the election night of 2008, when Obama beat John McCain, and it freaked out a certain class of people. It was kind of funny, but the 2 guys whose show it was were kind of those ironic young fellows. There's a certain point in your life when you discover irony. Yeah, that was for those of you keeping the score, what I was doing there was a what you would call an E suspended second. No third, man. That eliminates all the controversy between major and minor. Suspended the third. I suspended it, turned it into a second. Everybody knows how that works. I mean, if you do like something going from E suspended second to a D suspended second. So, suspending a chord is like, I mean, hey, man, it does stuff to your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I have a little D chord here. It's another D chord. This is a D. So there's a D. Because this is a third. F sharp, because everybody knows, D, E, F sharp is the third, right? So what happens if I suspend it to a fourth? See, that sounds real pretty, but I'm waiting for something to happen. What if I suspend it to a second? Hey man, don't you really want to hear an F sharp? That's what you really want to hear. Don't you really want that? Oh yeah, let's tell young Tom about this. We should have you up here later to discuss the weekend plans. But the thing about suspended, I mean, I don't know. I guess the thing is that okay, for this semester I'll be teaching up at the Coe College up there at Cedar Rapids, and I need the paycheck. That makes me a codependent. I get to play faculty recitals with my cohorts. Never mind. I'm sorry. But I think about this stuff, because I'm trying to communicate this. There's certain things, like I've discovered, and I want other people to learn about them too. So I have interesting people from different countries, and of course, different parts of this country, and so I show them things. I'm sorry. Sure. Suspended chords, right? Descending bass lines. Minor, major 7. Wow, that's cool. That sounds cool, man. So if this is an A, this is an A minor, this is an A major 7, this is an A minor major 7. Isn't that nice? La, la. A minor 9, A minor major 7 at 9, A minor 7, A minor 6, B minor 7 flat 5, or B half diminished if you're cool, E7 sharp 9, or E sharp 9 if you're really cool. A minor 9. A minor 6 9. I mean, you just play that for a while and use your little looper on the floor, like I've got the old Boss RC2. Actually, it's kind of an extreme sport on my part because the battery. I've been using this thing. I think a few weeks ago I started using this one because it was like I was in a hurry and I didn't want to get the power supply for the newer ones. So this one runs on a 9-volt battery, and the battery's about to die at any moment. And it's exciting to me because we had the battery die. It went well, we did that in over of course about 5 minutes, and it finally died at the end of the show. It was very exciting. But okay, so that's kind of what I'm babbling about is a chord theory. One thing I also noticed, I learned, so I did Fly Me to the Moon because some of you may know that I play at the Tuscan Moon in beautiful downtown Kelowna on the weekends. And I'll be there Friday night, by the way, Kelowna, Iowa, down south of Iowa City, in the Amish country down there. yawn again. Sorry, I had to get up early. And actually, I yawn on this show every week because it's that boring, really. Just imagine what it'd be like if you had to sit and watch it at home. Like, what if you couldn't get up and change the channel? You couldn't find a remote. Yeah, anyway, never mind. Oh, the battery died, and never mind. Okay. But, what I was talking about is, okay, I'll be at Kelowna. I mean, I won't be there Saturday night. They're having a car show. If you'd like shiny cars with fins from the 50s and 60s. And there's a fellow who's an older disc jockey from back in the day who knows all these songs. You'll see people in their 60s out there boogieing to the cars with fins on them. So they're going to close down the street in front of the Tuscan Moon, and I will be redundant. And as I was last Saturday when they had Kelowna Appreciation Days. So I get laid off, but next week I'll be back doing my usual Friday, Saturday thing. But anyway, so Paula, one of the owners down there, her favorite song, her theme song is Fly Me to the Moon. And I don't think they have an airport there, so you should drive to the moon. I call it the moon, the Boston moon. But so I kind of faked it. I think I didn't even mind. It's better in A minor. So it'd be like. Screw that up. I'm going to do it right. That's that half diminished chord, minor 7/5. There's that half diminished E, 7 sharp 9. And then, but instead of doing that one, I could do it up here. So this is up. E7 flat 9. I was talking about this in the show 2 months ago or more. Doesn't that make you long for A minor with a C on the top? Well, I guess you had to be there, right? It'd sound better in Kelowna. Love stuff like that. So you want to come up and tell us all about our new adventures that are going to happen this weekend? I'm going to be here, actually. In fact, I'm going to be hanging around, even for much of the afternoon, I think.
Sure. Hello there. Thanks for coming again, once again, for the
Oh, you'd be tired of me. I've been hanging around here this week too a little bit. I come in,
nice to see you once more. We do this each month. And when you're playing Fly Me to the Moon, the thing that always comes to mind to me is one of the Dr. Dolittle books. There's one of them, he goes to the moon.
Oh, really?
Flies on a great big butterfly. The books are much better than the movie. Much better.
I would think so. They had two of them. Then they had that one with what's his name, Rex Harrison, and
Yeah.
another one with what was his name, the actor? It was a very popular comedian
Yeah, I
that
don't.
started Saturday Night Live. African American chap.
Oh, Eddie?
Eddie
Murphy?
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy,
played him?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't see those.
I didn't see that one either, but
Huh. Well, so that's what I always think of when I hear that song.
let's see. On a butterfly.
So, and if we ever,
Aerodynamically speaking, I think once you got out of the atmosphere. The butterfly wouldn't do very well.
Well, there are many aspects of those books that are somewhat fantastic. The idea of talking to the animals.
Well, I talk to an animal every day, but, and she talks to me, but she doesn't speak English.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Well, I thought before we got to the weekend, we've been collecting a few jokes around here.
but see, Bob is out of town right now, so
Yeah.
so we need somebody, some humor.
So we collected a few here. What do you get when you cross a Rottweiler and a Collie?
I don't know.
A dog that bites you and then goes for help.
That's nice. That's very nice. Lassie, go home. Come on, go ahead.
Well, what do you get when you cross a Cantaloupe and Lassie?
I don't know.
Melancholy.
Oh boy. That's yeah. Okay.
And what do you get when you cross Bambi and a ghost? Bamboo. So, and
Bamboo.
this being back to school, we picked up a few back to school jokes here this week too. The little kid comes home and one of the parents is quizzing, about how it went. What did you learn in school today? Not enough. They want me back tomorrow.
Yes, yeah.
Here's another, it's a teacher and a student talking. Where's your homework? I ate it. Why did you do that? I don't have a dog.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, okay,
that's
that's pretty good,
what we
yeah.
got for you.
That reminds me of a Minnesota joke. I think was like a what do you call a Palestinian from Minnesota?
Don't know.
Yasser, you betcha. Never mind.
Cute. Well, yes, Uptown Bills will be 15 years old, or it is 15 years old.
Really? Wow.
And we're celebrating this weekend right here with a whole set of events on Saturday, September 3rd, and Monday, September 5th, which is the actual Labor Day itself. So on Saturday, you're opening up the music
Yeah.
at noon.
I better be good, huh?
You and a collection of
Well, it'll
other
be Ed
musicians?
Leff.
Okay,
Ed, he's a mandolinist.
dynamic duo.
Yeah, there'll be two of us.
All right.
It's usually the Tom's Guitar Show All-Star, but yeah, we'll try to do a good job.
And then later in the afternoon, Missy Brodsky is playing the ukulele. She's back in town.
Oh, yeah, I
Turns
heard
out-
about that. Yeah.
she's back. She was here for Bill's birthday. It was just a wonderful show. So it turns out this is her visit to her family is this weekend, and she wanted to know if we had any openings. We said, sure, we'd love to have you. So that's at 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, on the first Saturday of each month, we have an Irish session, open to anybody interested in Irish music. And that's always a lot of fun. So that's Saturday at 3. Then at 5 o'clock, the Gentlemen Callers.
Gentlemen Callers.
Gentlemen
Okay,
Callers,
yeah.
remember them? That's a duo. It's a,
Is it two of them? Yeah,
Yeah.
Al's one of them, right? Al Stroh, I think.
yeah.
5 o'clock.
And they, just a piano and drums. Keyboard and drums. They lean to pop. Always be a few Elvis tunes in there. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay.
And then at 7 o'clock, Jay Knight will be here. Jay Knight, we know, most of us know as the host of the longest-running open mic in Iowa City, over 30 years,
Wow.
at the Mill,
Yeah.
every Monday night. So, but he's also quite a talented musician. And so he's coming, and he's bringing along other folks in the Cottrell family. So it's Jay Knight and the Cottrells.
Okay.
So it should be a fun evening. Excuse me. And then on Monday, the music starts at 10:30 in the morning
Wow. Oh, boy.
with James Mon and his Not So Little Monsters, a jazz band. If you watch PATV regularly, you may have seen them. They've been on 2 or 3 times on our Thursday night live show. And a great, great jazz band, early jazz.
Okay,
So
yeah. that
great,
sounds like-
great start.
I like that stuff.
And then, of course, since it's Labor Day, we've got to sing some labor songs. So we're having a Labor Day community sing-along led by Joe Brisbane.
Really?
At noon.
Okay, all right.
So such things
But
as
he's a bass.
Brother, Can You Spare a Dime, and Solidarity Forever, and some other old classics and some new ones, too. And he's written a song about Uptown Bills. So we might sing that.
I might have heard that. He might have actually done it on my show or something. I'm not sure.
Could be. Oh, and then at 1:30, a wonderful duo from Nashville. husband and wife, Fort Defiance, they're called. Great Americana folk music, really good stuff. So it turns out that they're touring and they were looking for a place on Labor Day and called us and said, sure. And then finally, at 3 o'clock, Vanessa Silberman, who's a songwriter from Los Angeles. She's played for a long time in a band, punkish kind of band, but she's striking out on her solo career. So that's a little bit about the music. There are other things going on. There'll be folks here from PATV. You can learn about PATV, sign up.
Well, that's true. Now, I got to tell you that after I get done playing, and pack it all up, I'm going to wander around with other PATV people, and we're going to have an open house. We're going to try to get people on TV to do things like station identification, you're watching PATV, Iowa City's neighborhood network, things like that. And so, you see, as those of you in the viewing audience may or may not know, we are above PATV right now. We're above it all. In fact, I sometimes refer to you as the man upstairs when I'm downstairs doing it, because TV studio is right below us. In fact, this is the second story or whatever, or we're in the basement. I don't know, it depends on how you look at it. You are our tenant. So we're in the same building. So for me to do a show from here is just, moving upstairs. But
So you're going to introduce people to PATV. They can sign up to be a volunteer. They can learn about how to check out cameras.
They can
all
sign
that
up
stuff.
for the guidelines. You do the guidelines, you can become a producer, and then you can, and then after that, you can learn, how to use all the equipment and stuff like that. You can submit your own TV show, whatever. You can work on crews. In fact, many people have come and gone on my crew
Sure, yeah.
to get your experience, because people tend to make a lot of mistakes, when they first start out. So that's why we put them on Tom's Guitar Show, because we figured it doesn't matter. So anyway,
Well, then also, you can learn about, Uptown Bills is involved in an effort to start a new radio station. And right behind us, in fact, is the banner for the station, KICI 105.3 FM. And this week, the people involved in the station are out shopping for an antenna. So we're another step closer.
right, okay.
And so you can learn about the station, meet some of the people who've been working on it. They'll be here on Saturday. And then Gretchen, who was the longtime manager of the vintage store for Uptown Bills, will be back. And she'll have a table or two of vintage items to sell. She still keeps this up on her own. The store was really getting to be too much, so she's gone to a smaller thing and periodically pops up. So you might say it's a pop-up vintage store we're going to have.
Yeah, that
day.
pop-up thing is, it's even bigger than, or almost as big as the gig economy. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Huh.
And then Cara, who's our newest person in the bookstore, will be on hand. She'll have some books to recommend, and she'll be happy to help you do a little book shopping during our $1 book sale.
Wow,
Every book will be on sale this weekend for $1.
wow.
$1 each, any book.
Look at all those books out there. You can't see what I can see, but
Yeah.
I see a lot of books.
Yeah. We figure there are between 4,000 and 5,000 here.
That's a lot of books.
Mhm.
Boy, if you ever have to move, don't call me. I'm not ever going to do that again. I've been, a lot of books in this town, and people move. And,
That's right, that's right.
yeah.
And we've all been involved in moving people who say, I've got a few books too.
Yeah.
And after
a
you,
few thousand.
yeah, that's right, you truckload
Yeah.
going out. So,
They get heavy when you stack them up. I mean, an individual book might not be that heavy, but when you get up to 1,000 or so, that's...
the mistake of so many people moving is that they pack them in boxes that are too large.
Yeah.
You just pack them in small boxes, have more of them, but they pack these giant boxes and then expect us, the help, the volunteers,
Right.
to move those boxes you can hardly lift.
Right. Well, I don't know if you want to hear much about my personal life, but some years ago, I got married, and my wife was living in a little apartment, and she's a bookish person. She came here for the center of the book. She moved to Iowa City many years ago. So she got those little boxes you can get like at Staples or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
You punch it out, you got little holes
Yeah,
inside.
those,
And then she lived in this little apartment way upstairs over near the hospital, and it was so they had an elevator, and I was sure wasn't going to carry them down from like the 6th floor or whatever like that. So I didn't want to keep the elevator for too long because other people had to go places to go. So I would carry these two, sometimes even three at a time. It's, you know, in some way, my ancestors they work for a living, so like lifting something big, it's not that problem for my back, but my fingers are dainty. So I did this, and the next day I had all these pains in my knuckles and stuff because I kept putting my fingers in those things and picking them up, you know. And so I'm carrying like 60, you know, 80 pounds of books, but there's all that little cardboard on my. So the rest of that summer was like, my career might be over.
Oh, no.
And I recorded quite a bit at home, but I recorded on a very, very gentle little Telecaster with very light strings on it, and just really, it actually made me feel better if I. Made me feel better. So anyway, I was
Well,
just
I
sharing
think-
too much, I think.
That's it from me, unless you have any other questions about the events.
No, no, man,
Weekend?
I can't. I think people should just come down and party on down. Ed and I will be playing an interesting mixture of music, everything from bossa nova, choro music from Brazil, a lot of old time, you know, Americana stuff and Irish stuff, whatever,
nice.
and then some a little blues maybe, and just, you know, all kinds of stuff, and maybe what else? Yeah, stuff like that. I can't remember what we were putting. Actually, I don't even know. I'm just going to read the music. He's going to bring the music up.
Well, one way to look at this is that we're having this party, and there's a different band and a different cake every hour.
Okay, well,
So
there you go. Get your
we'll
glucose
see
up
you
there.
on Saturday, and we hope to see you folks watching as well. Should be
Yeah.
a great day. Come on Saturday, come on Monday, come both days.
That's right.
Love to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And you know why they call it a banjo? Because that's what it sounds like. Anyway, so this is one young fella who watches this show on YouTube, maybe on his phone or something. And then he says, and then you get the chit chat, and then I turn it off. So, anyway. I almost fell over. That's pretty quiet night. Now, I'll have you all know that I'm contemplating having another shindig in October. I want to give some other guitar players a thrill. Oh, 9 minutes, okay. Well, I can tell them the story of my life, because some people are, well, that's too early. What they need is like later on when they're trying to get to sleep. Some people tell, yeah, you have to take pills and stuff like that. You don't want to do that. Just listen to me. I'll tell you some stories. Why, when I was a boy, see, I can do that. I keep thinking I'm hearing something come out of my amp. Hang on, I'm just going to. Yep. It's the darndest thing. I get this little hum out of my, this little out of my amp when I put the reverb on. And I like reverb, because I want to. Like that. Oh yeah. I digressed, didn't I? Well, my ambition is to have some people come on, some of my co-dependents, my co-students, and then some of my other students, and that's some people I might know from the community. I'd rather than having a theme like a classical guitar, or just say, let's all play a bunch of tunes, and just have a bunch of people come up with different kinds. I have two young men I've been working with for a while. They both began as ukuleleists at the age of 5, and now they're both 6. In fact, one is pushing 7, because they're about a year apart, I suppose, or maybe less, a little bit less. But so one guy who's been on the show before, I think maybe they've both been on the show. Yeah, they've both been on a show before, but I'd like to have them on and show their progress. They're actually becoming classical guitar students, which is kind of interesting. I always think that's the best thing to do. That's what I believe in. I mean, you got to believe in something. Unicorns, fairies in the garden. A good, solid classical guitar education. What do you think? I mean, okay. But anyway, so I like to have them on, and I'm thinking about, I don't know about the scheduling. I'm thinking about the last, Tuesday in October. Maybe we can tweak it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we can do a, depending. There's the co-jazz band, and after they play a concert, they can get a Tuesday off because they rehearse on Tuesday nights. So that's the problem. So I think they're going to play a concert, and fortunately, I don't have to worry about it because they have 2 guitar players in the band now, so I don't have to do anything except help prepare those guys. That's more than you need. You only need 1. So yeah. Yeah. I thought I did that already. This sort of a costume, isn't it? Halloween's like on a Monday, I think. On the last day of, I think it's on a Monday or something. I think I actually figured that out as a young fella who was upset about it because he figured that because they usually have trick-or-treating day like on a Saturday or something, but it's going to be on a Monday. But he was upset because he had to go to school the next morning, so he had to go to bed early, he couldn't trick-or-treat and couldn't eat all his candy. He was telling me. He's a young man.
Monday,
Yeah, Monday, okay. So, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I could do November 1st. I don't know. That'd be the day after Thanksgiving. People are tired of it. I mean, let me see, Halloween. The people are tired of it by then, aren't they? The day after. They've all had sugar shock. 31 plus minus 7. 4th, isn't it?
Well, the first is the Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. 25th. Huh. Well, that's when we'd normally be on the 25th. Well, we'll have to see. I'm waiting for a schedule, but I'm trying to get everybody together. I'd like to have a whole bunch of people up here, and maybe I could sit up here and play with some of them. Some that could play solo. And the people who aren't, affiliated with me in any way can play also. If they want to. So anyway, and there's always Donna with her ukulele. That's my ambition. I don't know what I'm going to do about September. But, for those of you who said autumn leaves. variations on the autumn leaves? Now, I heard about somebody, can't remember their name, somebody who was doing like punk and heavy metal, hardcore stuff, but with a flamenco twist. Like, got a flamenco guitar, was taking these songs and playing them in kind of a flamenco style. And somebody said, look him up. And now I can't remember what the name was. I thought I remember it, but it was a few days ago. What? Yeah, well. I don't know how to do it yet. There was an instrument called a punk rod that I saw advertised, and I looked it up again. I guess he stopped making them, but there was somebody who was a guitar tech, and was building these things. And one was looked like an axe with two strings. So the bass had two strings, or no, the guitar had two strings, or the guitar-like thing, and the bass thing had one string. So you could just go like the parallel fist. Like, so I wanted one, but it was too late. Oh, I'll be back next week in the studio downstairs, Tom's Guitar Show. So I can't see you, but you can see me.